Hello students, today we'll continue our lesson class. Today we'll learn the constructor. So we finished with this code. I want to add here, in order to explain more about the constructors, the human class here. This is our person class, if you remember. This is our main methods. We just run these methods, and I will create here the human class. Then let me add here the almost the same values for string name, int age, int height, and let it be double weight. So these all variables, it's called the instance variables. Since this is a class, it's not just code templates, they are architectural blueprints that embody concepts. After we initialize here our, I will do before in the comment. Then after executing this statement, let me write here this statement. Statement is a sentence in a line. Human. Note here, after executing the statement, the h1 object will become the instance of human class. The instance of human class. That's we will acquire a physical instance. If you imagine the physical instance, let's ignore the execution features of this operator for now. And after I write here, I want to add here some constructor public human. I will write keywords, the words of age, this, then age 0, height, let it be height, let it be 50 centimeter. This weight, let it be weight will be about the 3.5 kilo. Let it be 0.5 if you will just in meter. No, exactly 50 centimeters. Let's leave as it was. Then this name, let me write here temporary no name. This is our constructor. What's the constructor? Constructor is a class method that initialize new objects, which is here the h1. After it has been created, if you want to give the object some initial parameters, so I will give here the initial parameters, for example 0, 50 centimeter, let it be 3.5 kilo, and no name. When we initialize parameters, then we can write all these class in constructor. For example, if we take our example of person, of human, we know that when the, for example, child is born, it has initial weight, it has initial height, it has initial age, kilo. Later, then when the child grows, his weight, age, height change. That is, we can change this with the help of methods. This constructor, which is created by default, when we write here, for example, and let me before write here one methods to give more example here. I will write here methods public, for example void run, write here name. Then let it be here the age, then it'll be here weight, right here weight, and right here height, and what else? Let it be this method is run. Let's add here the running verb. So then I will initialize here our main methods. Sorry, I missed this dot. When I run it, probably nothing appears here since I do not run my methods. Now after I address my object through h1 and I run methods, we'll see here how the constructor is working. It will get our initial parameters name in our constructors, which is no name here, then weight, age, and 50 weight and 3.5 kilo. All these methods which were initialized here inside our constructor, it's appeared here. Now when we initialize a constructor, the object directly in the creation time, the construction name is the same. It should be same as a class name. It should be the same as a class name, and including the case the syntax of constructor is similar to a method without any return value here. If you notice, without any return value, there can be several constructors, but they shouldn't be similar in the structure. And the program itself select constructors, which is we ourselves use when initializing the instance. What about this command? This command is used to incite any method to refer to the current objects, which is a human here. This always serves as a reference to the objects, which is here as the objects we create here, and method was called that we indicate that the fields like age, height, and name of fields of the current class. So now after I create the constructor, now I can create the constructor by with the methods which are given additional parameters. These are our initial values which we did here in create class. When we call our parameters, the initial values come here and we'll see on our console. Now I can create one more constructor here in order to change these values. As I said before in our example, when the child is born, we have the initial values. For example, age it's 0, for example the height, for example 50 centimeter, and weight is 3.5 kilo, and there is no name yet. Then we can change. For these reasons I have create one more constructors now with the arguments. Then we can give the parameters to these arguments inside of these round brackets. I will write here 8 height, double weight, then string name. Now I use the same keywords this just to refer to my current class. write here age, this name, this height, and this weight. So my age here, it's my height, it's my weight, this is my weight and name. So now I can give the values for our constructors through our main methods. How? I just write it for example, create another instance of human. Let's call the human h1, h2 in that case, and I will give some, after I initialize my human, I will give some parameters here. Let it be, for example, let me here, for example, 25 age, then height, let it be, will be the height in this double weight. So let it be, for example, 145. Then the weight let be, for example, and the name, let it be, will be Aidar. String name, age, human. Did I miss something here? Okay, let's check it. I forget here the double dot, and this it should be inside of brackets. Now everything is correct, and I will initialize my constructors through run. So look at here, our instance. Now we change through, by the help of our constructor, our names, age, and weight, and the height through our these constructors. Everything we give the value Aidar, age of 25, weight 80, and the height 185. It's running. That's about the constructor. And the class can contain the methods, one or two methods depending on the complexity of the class. The methods in class are used as function or action, for example. Here, for example, our human can, if we just compare the human, if you will just consider, take example, human is one class, the exact man, which is the Aidar here, is one specific human specimen.